to Praise Time TV. I'm Monica, your host, and I'm excited to guide you through an uplifting experience where gospel music meets celebration. Whether it's your first time tuning in or you're a loyal viewer, we're delighted to have you join us. Today's lineup is truly special, featuring messages of hope, expert advice for celebrating Mother's Day, and the debut of new music introduced by Pastor Harold Ford from the House of Gospel Music. Plus, stay tuned for a personal message just for you. So get ready to open your heart and let the music of faith and love elevate your spirit. Enjoying the show? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more uplifting music and inspiring messages on Praise Time TV.
I am 5 years old and my mommy knows everything.
I'm 8 years old and my mom knows almost everything.
I'm 16 years old and my mom doesn't know anything.
I'm 23 years old, and I know way more than my mom.
I'm 30 years old, and I'm finding out that my mom might know something after all.
I'm 40 years old, and my mom knows more than I ever thought, and she worked harder than I ever knew.
I'm 50 years old, and I'm seeing that my mom always tried her best, whether or not I recognized it at the time.
At my age, there isn't a day that goes by when I don't wish I could just pick up the phone and call my mom to talk about, well, everything.
To all moms, no matter what season you're in, may God fill this day with joy, with love, and with a genuine experience of His pleasure over you. Happy Mother's Day.
I hope you're being encouraged by this great gospel music. I'm here right now with Dr. Sanika Gaynor, our resident health expert, who is here to share some tips that will help guide our wonderful mothers through the stress that comes with motherhood. Thank you so much, Dr. Gaynor, for being back with us once again.
It's always a good time on Praise Time.
It's a great time because it's what? Praise time. Okay, just so you know what it is. Motherhood is a blessing.
Yes.
We know that. It's a gift from God.
Sure.
However, infertility is a thing.
Absolutely.
Those that desire motherhood and often blame themselves for it not coming as easily as expected. When it comes to infertility, especially the questions that can come from family members like, where's my grandbaby? When are you having these kids? How can we help aspiring mothers cope with those type of situations?
Sure. First, I want to say we thank God for the gift of motherhood.
Absolutely.
It is indeed a gift, and we thank God for all mothers. I mean, what a multifaceted role.
Right.
It's unique. It's subjective, and so first, I want to just acknowledge the powerful role of motherhood.
Yeah.
For those experiencing infertility, I think it's important to acknowledge how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Even before anyone else acknowledges it. I think that it is common for folks who are experiencing infertility to feel sadness, to feel frustration, and to even experience some grief.
Yeah.
And find themselves going through the stages of grief. And so before we even think about what we can't control, which are our family members' desire for children, desire for a family to grow, well wishes, or even misguided statements, acknowledging your own feelings and making space for some self-compassion, being gentle with yourself, is extremely important. When we're thinking about navigating these narratives with family, it becomes challenging because we cannot control what we can't control.
That's good.
When other folks want so bad for you to have a family that mirrors their own, or have a family that maybe they did not have, it can begin to be a bit taxing and difficult to shut down the hopes and wishes of other people. So it really starts with the individual.
Yeah.
How do you show up for yourself?
That's good.
And make space for you to experience the wide range of emotions that you're going to experience during this time in your life?
Absolutely. And when you were speaking, it made me think about identity. Because oftentimes womanhood is attached to motherhood. So if I cannot have a baby, I'm less than a woman. Or if I'm struggling to have a baby, am I really a woman? And so I just want to encourage all the mothers out there, but those who have struggled or maybe struggling, you're not less than if you're struggling. Your identity isn't wrapped up solely in this gift of motherhood, and God can do anything. If you look in the Bible, the story of Sarah, right? There are so many women in the Bible who struggled with fertility, and God came through in his divine timing. And so don't attach yourself, your whole identity to maybe the norms of this world. God can still do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask, think, or imagine for ourselves.
Absolutely.
As we transition their identity, right? Some mothers, they're so great and they so love this role of being a mother that they lose themselves. How can we encourage mothers to, number one, remember that their sole identity is in motherhood, and to help them not feel guilty when they think about themselves and consider self-care, because that mom guilt is a thing.
Sure. I think for anyone, in this case, women, when we fail to obtain that which we can't control, we feel defeat.
Oh, that's good.
And that is natural, especially if your goal is to be in control of something. A part of this navigation is relinquishing control.
Wow.
That this may not happen in your time. And it may not happen in a way that you would expect. And so because that is foreseeable, that things will happen in their time, we can prepare ourselves mentally and emotionally for when things do not go the way that we expect them to go. That takes self-awareness, it takes forethought, right? And it's about being intentional about practicing presence. Guilty feelings, any hard emotion, that is just natural and that will come up. And we don't have to figure out ways to suppress them because that never serves us. We just need to think about the purpose of the emotion. And then compartmentalize, put it somewhere safe, right? And I think so often we use shame and guilt to move us into a direction. And we can never shame and guilt ourselves into moving in or progressing or obtaining that which we desire. Shame and guilt will never be the driver. However, that hard emotion can indicate that you need connection, that maybe you're experiencing loneliness, that you're not going to be able to do this by yourself. And so leaning into a community, leaning into your support. When you're thinking about identity and where to go from here, acknowledge your self-interest, maybe your own goals. Intersectionality is huge in this. We all have intersecting identities within us. So we're never just one thing. And sometimes we will prioritize one identity over the other, and the other identities then get lost. So who else are you at your core? And if you're not able to articulate that, you can find that in the Word of God. Who does he say that you are outside of motherhood? You are a mother and maybe exploring that and will build the confidence necessary for the challenging times.
Absolutely. You said something that's so potent, but I want to make sure it's clear. When you say practicing presence, what does that mean? And what does that look like to practice presence? Because I think sometimes we think we're doing the thing, but we're not clear on what the thing is. What do you mean by that?
Practicing presence means being intentional about being still.
Oh, that's good.
Right? When you are practicing presence, you are going inward and finding a way to settle. You're wanting to ground in a place or in a thing, and not try to rationalize or intellectualize the subject matter, the issue, the circumstances, but really relinquish control of the moment and focus on the here and now. What is my body telling me right now? How am I breathing? What is my nervous system saying, right? What am I hearing? Use your senses to ground you in the moment, especially if you are someone wanting to hear from God.
Oh, that's good.
You hear from God in the stillness. It is a bit challenging to really hear from anyone when you're busy.
Yeah.
But when we practice presence, we are being intentional about our focus and realizing that this is a spiritual, biological, psychological connection that needs to happen, and I need to show up for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't just fall on me.
Yeah.
Presence doesn't just happen to me. It's something that I go and meet. And when I'm there, I can figure out what to do. And a lot of times when you practice presence, you find clarity.
Yeah.
You learn how to regulate your emotions. You understand that emotions are not something that can just pass over me, but they pass through me. So if I am sitting in what I am feeling, I'm realizing how sadness comes up and passes through me.
Yeah.
And when something else happens that triggers the feeling of sadness, I now know what to do with it. I now know what I need to do while it passes through me. And I don't have to be defeated or bound every time I experience a hard emotion. That's just the benefit of practicing presence.
That's beautiful. It sounds a lot like seeking the Lord, like preparing to seek the Lord, or moreover, the quiet place. Like your quiet place. And I love how you talked about letting things pass. You don't have to have an answer for all things. It's almost like we embrace anxiety with that. Like, let me just find a solution. Mothers, you don't have the answers for all things, and that's okay. You're not less of a mother because you don't know all things. No one does. But like Dr. Gaynor stated, grounding, being present. This is where I am. This is what's happening. And practicing how this can pass through. And I love all of it, guys, okay? Because she's just good. And not just because she's my sister, okay? Because we're really getting this meat, okay? But another thing that I love so much is when you were talking about how when you are grounded, you're allowed to hear better. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we're so crowded in our own mind with our own thoughts, it properly affects not just our ability to hear others' opinions, hear from God. Because we're answering our own questions, praying, Lord, what should I do? Because I know I probably should. Well, hush.
Well, it's important to understand that in hearing, you're seeking. And the Church of old would always say, seek the Lord where he may be found. Some will say, seek the Lord while he may be found. I believe it's where. But folks don't really know the where.
The where, right.
And the where is in the still. And if you find him in the still while practicing presence, you might find more than you signed up for.
Oh, wow.
You might have answers to questions you didn't even know you had. I think when we go to God with specifics, we find ourselves disappointed because we want to be in control of the interaction.
For sure.
I wonder what it would be like as a mother if you decided to relinquish control, that I may not know all the things, and I may not know every way to care for my child, or I may not know what to do to be able to reproduce. I may not know my options. I'm feeling confused or lacking clarity. What would it be like to really seek him where he may be found? What would it be like to practice presence, be still, go inward, and find clarity in that way? How would that translate to grace?
Yeah.
How would that translate as peace, right? We oftentimes look for these things. We all say, give yourself grace. We all say, engage in self-care. But I think for some, that's just an abstract thought. And we don't know how to make that tangible. Making grace for yourself tangible, or self-care for yourself, making that practical, is by being present and by being still. And in those moments, you might find even more than what you signed up for.
I love that. In those practicing and those finding, all action words, reminding us that faith and work come together. It's all just so good. Like, God isn't just, that's what you said, it's just not going to fall upon us. This practice isn't just going to, we're going to have to do something. We're going to have to stop some things, practice, find, seek. I love it. I hope you guys are enjoying all of this. Meet Child with Dr. Gaynor. We'll be back in a few with more music and more insight from our mental health expert, Dr. Gaynor. Stay tuned.
Today, we celebrate the women who've watched over us, taken care of us, and walked us through life. It's a day to say thank you to every mom. Moms with children running through the house, and moms whose kids are all grown up. Moms who are walking this road all by themselves. And moms who've loved a child in need. Moms who've suffered terrible loss. And moms whose children have become moms themselves. For all the times your love made our lives better, and the moments your lessons made our paths clear. For the way you showed us Jesus by simply being yourself. We say thank you. Whether today is a day of celebration, reflection, or heartache, know that you are loved. Mom, this day is for you. Happy Mother's Day.
Welcome back, Praise Time family. We're here with Dr. Gaynor, continuing our discussion on Mother's Day, managing the stress in motherhood. So this Mother's Day, how can we honor the mothers and the mother-like figures in our lives?
Sure, yes. Expressing gratitude. Let's start there, right? What are you grateful for? Expressing that to your mother figures that have showed up for you, that have been present, that have made sacrifices. So it's important to express your gratitude and your thanks. Celebrating milestones is another way to celebrate mothers. What are some achievements that they have experienced in their journey as they carry these intersecting identities? What are some things that some goals that they've had and achieved? One important way, though, I think that we can celebrate mothers is fostering inclusivity.
Oh, I like that.
Mothers come in various forms. And so there are biological mothers, adoptive mothers, mothers that are not blood related, mothers by choice, that you have, the family that you have chosen, right? So embracing that motherhood can take on different shapes and sizes and look different for everyone is important. Then you can find ways to honor what's unique about the mother figure in your life. You know, what makes this mother different from all other mothers. And we foster that by thinking about the relationship, what has really been pivotal in the relationship with your mother that you can speak to that would truly honor their unique gift as a mother.
Absolutely. And I might even add taking some things off of her plate. The mental weight that comes with mothers. I'm not one, but I have one. Hello. And what I do know is that a break mentally can be so powerful. If she doesn't have to think about dinner this week, if she doesn't have to think about the schedule, if somebody else can pick up and drop off the kids, if somebody else can organize or clean or allow her to sit down and really rest, not just sleep, but rest, I think that'll be beneficial.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your wisdom and warmth, Dr. Gaynor. Up next, we have Pastor Harold Ford from the House of Gospel Music with the latest in gospel music. Stay tuned.
We are moms who are pouring ourselves into our children every hour of every day. We are grandmothers who are also playing the role of primary caretaker. We are moms who are waiting to have children and trying our best to see the struggle through the eyes of God. We are moms who are learning the challenges of a blended family. We are moms in the workplace who are trying our best to balance competing expectations and demands. We are moms with adult children who are leaving our homes to pursue their own dreams. For packing lunches late at night. For cleaning out their backpacks, then filling them again. For offering gentle guidance to your own grown children. For becoming taxi drivers and appointment schedulers. For making sure the right baby doll is in their arms before they go to sleep. For helping them pay back their student loans. For cleaning and sterilizing and cooking. For doing their laundry and his laundry and our laundry. For praying and loving and forgiving and falling down and rising to your feet again. For the mom who is overworked and exhausted. For the mom who seems to spend 1,000,000 hours on 1,000,000 little things. For the mom who pours Jesus into her family as best she can. And God Himself not only celebrates what you do, but rejoices over the uniqueness of who you are. You are seen, and you are loved without limits. Welcome to Mother's Day.
This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Hello, Praise Time TV. Thank you for having me today. It's an honor and a blessing to be with you today. I'm Pastor Harold Ford, host of the House of Gospel Music radio show, heard on numerous radio stations worldwide every weekend, along with my host and wife, Prophetess D. Ford. Our mission is simply to share how good, I want y'all to say good, God is through music. He's our waymaker, He's our refuge and our Savior, and every good and perfect thing comes from the Lord. Now, if you've ever thought or were even thinking about giving up, don't. Say it. Don't. This is the message sung by the anointed and talented Houston, Texas native, Ernest Pugh, entitled, Don't Give Up.
Mothers are one of a kind. Nurturers, life givers, and in many cases, the lifelines of many of our communities. Even Scripture honors the gift of motherhood. Proverbs 31, 28, and 29 states, her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Amidst the glory of motherhood, society can force women to make it their sole identity, not to mention social media pressure that can cause the spirit of comparison to creep in, making you question, am I doing enough? But I want to encourage all the mothers, no matter how you became one, that God will never put more on you than you can bear. And what you have to offer to this world is not solely tied to motherhood. Yes, you're a mother, but you're also a royal priesthood. Yes, you're a mother, but you're also fearfully and wonderfully made. Yes, you're a mother, but you're also the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. Yes, you are a mother with high expectations, but we serve a God that still knows the plans for your life, even when uncertainty arises. So this Mother's Day, my prayer is that you remember that your identity is not solely wrapped up in motherhood, but in Christ. And in Him, you can be and do all things. We honor you. We love you. Happy Mother's Day. We're thrilled to have you with us on Praise Time TV. Let's dive into more worship and reflection that will uplift your soul and renew your spirit. Welcome back. Stay tuned. We're taking a short break, but we'll be back soon with more worship and encouragement on Praise Time TV.
I am 5 years old, and my mommy knows everything.
I'm 8 years old, and my mom knows almost everything.
I'm 16 years old, and my mom doesn't know anything.
I'm 23 years old, and I know way more than my mom.
I'm 30 years old, and I'm finding out that my mom might know something after all.
I'm 40 years old, and my mom knows more than I ever thought, and she worked harder than I ever knew.
I'm 50 years old, and I'm seeing that my mom always tried her best, whether or not I recognized it at the time.
At my age, there isn't a day that goes by when I don't wish I could just pick up the phone and call my mom to talk about, well, everything.
To all moms, no matter what season you're in, may God fill this day with joy, with love, and with a genuine experience of His pleasure over you. Happy Mother's Day.
Thanks for joining us today. On behalf of everyone at Praise Time TV, we extend our heartfelt tribute to all mothers this Mother's Day. May God's love and blessings envelop each of you. Stay uplifted, stay blessed, and we eagerly await your return next time right here on Praise Time TV.
Thank you for watching Praise Time TV. Until next time, may your spirits remain lifted and your hearts forever connected in praise.